Hello and welcome. This is Fayetteville Project Healing Waters program, and today's fly is the soft hackle. The materials we're using is the Umpqua TMC 3769 nymph hook, size 14. We're using Unithread, 72 dinar or ADOT. We're going to be using Danville fine wire, color gold. And for the body, we're going to be using Semper Seal Sub, burnt orange. So let's get started. This is a fairly simple fly. Again, it's the only tricky part about it is the dubbing. I found this dubbing was pretty tricky to play with. So we'll go get our hook and our vise. The color thread we're using is brown. So I'm going to start one eye length behind the eye. We want to save some space for the dubbing. We don't want to crowd the eye. And let's remove our tag. And we're just going to bring it to the hook point. Then what we want to do is we want to grab our wire and click a little piece off of there, and we want to tie this in and just capture it. And you want to slide it down a little bit, and then we're going to bring that all the way to the bend of the hook. Alright. Now what we want to do is we want to grab our Semper Seal and just use this sparingly. It's very stringy, very difficult to work with. But it's what I used in class, so I'm going to use it here. And just get you a nice little dubbing noodle on there. I tried to use wax, but it was pretty difficult when I was using the wax. So let's just go ahead and wrap it in there and build up a nice little body for it. And just go round and round, and don't worry about it being buggy like that. That's the way we want it. And we're going to add a little bit more. And as far as dubbing goes, this is like the hardest dubbing I've actually had to use. And just keep on going. Make sure our body is somewhat consistent. And let's try not to impede too much on the eye of the hook, because we still got to go and put our hackle there. So I'm going to come in and trim off some of the extra furry stuff that will make it not look like a true bug. But we don't want to cut it all down. We just want to cut it a little bit. And I still have some fibers coming off the back here, I see. Just take your time. Be sure not to cut your wire. I believe that'll be it. No, one more. Okay, we'll put our wire back down. Now what we want to do is we want to do our wire the opposite direction. And just do spacing wraps. Somewhat tight to bring the dubbing down. And what this is going to do is this is going to secure the dubbing. And so come in and we're going to cinch it down. Okay, it wraps forward, and then we're going to wrap back onto it, back to where we're going to tie in our hackle and make sure it's nice and secure. And then we're going to try to helicopter it off. Give it a couple turns. If it's not going to work, then I am going to cut it off, but we'll see. There we go. Now what we want to do is we want to come in with our hackle, and we're using partridge feather, Hungarian, and the color is natural. And what we want to do is we want to grab the tip of the feather and kind of make a Christmas tree out of it. And when you separate those fibers, that is going to be our tie-in point. So I'm going to turn this around, cinch it down, and then we're going to tie it in. And that looks pretty good to me. Then we're going to come back up and wrap underneath it. Alright, so now let's remove the Christmas tree part of the hackle. And there's a lot going on here. And I don't want to cut the hackle I want, and I certainly don't want to cut my thread. Because if you cut your thread at this point, then you are essentially starting over. Okay. That's good. So now we're going to grab I suggest hackle pliers. And let's get them fixed in there. And what we want to do is we want to take this, and you want to be careful, this is a soft hackle, and it will break on you. Alright. And essentially we're just going to keep it straight. We're going to force these feathers back, if it'll stay. I'm wondering if I got junk in my pliers. Okay. So we're going to recapture it. Oh, man. You know, working around this camera too isn't easy. Okay. It does not want to go in. Okay. So now we're back to trying to get it around. And what we want to do is you can wet your fingertips and force these back, but we want to kind of palmer it forward. Like so. And just make sure that we're not forcing these fibers. We're not wrapping on top of them. And then what we want to do is just capture the stem, and then we're going to remove the portion of the stem we're not using. Now what we want to do is we want to grab these and then just kind of force them back a little bit. We want to get these fibers going backwards. And don't worry if you don't get them all, then uh-oh, it's unwrapping on me. Might lose this feather. If you do capture some and they go forward, then just go ahead and cut those out. So once you get that secure, grab your whip finish. And capture your work really quick before you lose it. Okay, be sure not to grab any fibers and get them in that whip finish. And then just remove your thread and kind of see what we're dealing with here. And there, I see a little junker on the back. So I'm just going to remove that real quick. Okay. And here's the soft hackle that we tied in class. Like I said, it's a very simple fly. The partridge feathers can be a little bit challenging, but it just takes practice to get used to that. And like I said, this Simplify fly dubbing was not really easy to work with. It just, I found it to be very, very stringy, and it's not natural dubbing, and I prefer natural dubbing. But this is April's fly, one of two of April, and this is it. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we appreciate you watching the video. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you like the video, pass it along to fellow Healing Water fly tyers, and expose them to different flies. Thank you very much.